If I mispronounce anything, it was either on purpose or I generally don't know how the fuck to pronounce that, and I think you'll be able to distinguish between those.
I want to get super serious for a moment, everybody. Can we get super serious? I just gotta be honest, everybody. I can't believe how many rare endemic creatures there are. Oh, come on. Tough crowd, huh? Well, I was gonna share another pun, but nah, bruh.
Wow, that guy sucked. You know, if he really wanted to be laughed at, he would probably just try to fully complete. Tonight on Monday Night Raw bullshit, I'll be taking on nature in a nature versus nurture extravaganza through what is quite possibly the most remarkably aggressive display of self-hatred I will ever show on this very channel. My name is Jack, as in jacked up for even wanting to do this, but you can call me Dr. the Horn. Welcome to Creature Poacher Planet. While the cutscene plays in the background, let me explain some stuff to you. First, you should like and subscribe, because I love you, and I'll love you even more when you do. Second, this 100% will be in two parts. The first one here will include low and high rank. The second will include master rank and Iceborne's endgame. At the start of each chapter, I'll give you a list of the achievements I've planned out for the part. It's no secret that I achieved them, otherwise you wouldn't be seeing this video, unless you're a time traveler. So here's that list real quick. The Art of Camouflage, Welcome to the New World, The Bigger They Are, Giant Crown, Miniature Crown, Hunters United, Angling for a Bite, First Ride, Experienced Rider, First Friends, Nothing Stops the Commission, so tasty, Clutch Claw Neophyte, Rainbow Bright, Monster Slayer, Defender of Estera, Personal Treasure, Capture Novice, Fledgling Collector, An Inquisitive Mind, New World Settler, Help! Bosom Buddies, Moving On Up, I Am the Reinforcements, and Death Begets Life. That's quite a number of them. In fact, that's 27. That's more than a quarter of the total achievements. While it is good progress, achievements in this game are like leveling skills in RuneScape. Once you hit 92, you're really only halfway there. Speaking of halfway there, I'm halfway through character customization. So meet Polly the Palico. Aside from being referenced in a Bratz video game review I did like 3 or 4 years ago, Polly will be a new best friend moving forward. Polly is also the reason I finished this run and didn't lose my patience with the annoying monsters, especially the one that starts with an L and has its Spanish word for moon in its name. Okay, time to meet our...
Hello, my name is Jack Cinemas. The Bratz brand is not associated or partner of Jack's son Aperture. Today I'm taking you on a magical journey through the new world. Hunting monsters isn't easy in a war-torn, entirely incomprehensible society like the old world. In fact, what better place to secede from the nations of old than a giant, confusing, admittedly intimidating forest? Well, my friends, today's your lucky day because this is... Forest, the Ancient. A sparkling maze of vines and brush peeking over the windswept seas. I can faintly smell both sea salt and the rotten guts of the food chain being enforced deep within the brush. Just kidding, I can't smell anything at all.
This place is quite beautiful, isn't it? Not sure why my stomach feels a bit wonky, but yeah, I like this place. For now. Maybe once the wind picks up, I'll like it a little less. Wow, what a couple of klutzes. We seem to have fallen directly into the perfect campsite. Silly us being perfectly safe and all that. Unfortunately, we won't be safe for long. We have to get to Estera, a place known for being just across the ancient forest. Despite this, we don't go across the ancient forest. We take a long, winding side path instead. The issue isn't the long winding part. No, the issue is really these jaguars that appear to ambush us. But by hiding myself away in a nearby bush, given my lack of gigantic horn, I get the Art of Camouflage achievement. After our run-in with the jaguars, we find some very worrying details in the forest. The first worrying detail is that of a great jaguars. The second is the great jaguars chasing us. The third, well, the third is Matthew Mercer. But there's a surprise hidden fourth thing too. It starts with Anja, ends with Nath. Once inside Estera, thanks entirely to the epic jump ability, I get a boring walkthrough of life in modern-day Australia. Good news! Polly's back! I missed you, Polly. Then there's a yap session about Zora Magdaros and its goals in the new world. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just a dude who wants to sacrifice himself for the betterment of his ego. Once that's over, I can choose my beloved weapon, aka the very last thing monsters will see before stars guide their way to the closest heavenly gate. The truth of the matter is, I'm a hunting horn enjoyer. Everything I do is in pursuit of the honking and bonking, my friends. I will, however, use other weapons in this playthrough, especially for research gathering purposes, but the hunting horn is my second brother in arms. Next to plan. Alright, let's go ahead and get through these next few missions, yeah? First, I'm sent to hunt Jagras. Not great Jagras, but also likely not the same Jagras that gave me trouble before. It did take a very long time to be lectured about Astera. Then, total Kestodon death must occur before I can even hope to slay the first large monster. So, Kestodon? More like Kesta dead. Once the Kesto are done, it's track hunting time. Picking up skibbity marks and footprints leads me to—
Forget those weak-ass Jagras. You've seen nothing yet. Also, forget the Kestodon too, but they aren't really ready to— you know, fuck it, I'll figure out a better intro for the next monster. Here's the great Jackass Riz.
That was quick. Exactly 2 minutes of fighting was all it took. I forgot how easy Base World is. After laying my eyes upon the Pookie Pookie, I get the Welcome to the New World achievement. For the first bit of this wonderful experience, I will be playing with my girlfriend, Rosemary. After the end of low rank, I'll be going solo. And by solo, I mean I'll still be playing online, but I'll be the only one independently playing. Anyway, after traversing the multiverse with nothing but an instrument on my back, we beat up another great Jagras, and I get the Hunters United achievement. While jerking off in Astera, I attach a pink floating robotic octopus to my hunting horn. Doing this gives me the Personal Treasure achievement. Then I engage in my favorite pointless minigame whenever it shows up, giving me the Angling for a Bite achievement. After 1.5 million years, I finally get to the new camp.
Deep within the desert wastes, you'll find a very distinct odor permeating the sand. It smells like rotten eggs and fetid death. And shit. Lots of shit. The monster responsible for this is— wait, this isn't a desert. We're still in the ancient forest? What the hell is going on? Anyway, watch this unwoke and unbased neutralite fight the Kulu Yaku.
I really hate to tell you this, Kulu, but this will not be our last time as mortal enemies. I promise that I will give a middle finger to your forced ancient forest diversity quotas. Next time, I'm coming for a true fit check. After more romantic monster bashing with my girlfriend, I ride myself a little moss swine, getting the first ride achievement. Then I'm sure you know what time it is. It's time to—
holy shit, this game just throws everything at you as fast as possible, huh? Well, I didn't have time to plan intro for this thing. It spits poison like, What the fuck, Jack? I don't approve the hawk tour, blame the editor. If you ever find yourself dizzying about in the ancient forest, watch out for this guy's poopy poopy. Get it? Haha, I'm so funny, I'm being held at gunpoint to read that line. Anyway, pookie pookie.
You better believe that nothing stops the commission. +1 achievement. However, now it's time to waste my life at the Wildspire Ranch. Haha, that's what I would say if I didn't go on even more expeditions to the ancient forest instead. What, you thought I wasn't going to ADD my way through this playthrough? Well, I won't, just not right now. I spend the next 30 minutes wandering aimlessly until I finally find the Bug Trappers. This is one of 5, well, 6 with Iceborne, Grimalkeen tribes. Technically it's still 5, or maybe 4. 1 or 2 of them isn't really called Grimalkeen, but whatever. This introduction is the start of a very unfortunate future of gambling my sanity away. No hate to the Bug Trappers, I'm sure they're furry little friends, but they really are picky about their treasure tips. They aren't picky about achievements though, and I get the first Friends achievement for befriending this Grimalkeen tribe. Before it's even required, I go the distance and slay an Anjanath with my girlfriend. Some say no one on earth could make it fall, and yet this wall is bound. I will say that joke 2 more times in the script. I also fight a Rathalos. Neither of them are getting a montage until their official debuts. Anyway, back to more important matters, like barbecue. So tasty, achieved. With nothing else to do, I think we should get a move on to the most exciting quest of the game. That's right, we're going—
Are we finally there? Okay, good, hold on, give me a moment. Spiraling spires. Okay, that's not good. Give me 1 second. The wild wasteland of the eastern desert swamp is a decrepit and dying place to many. 1 foot in the wrong dune will lead you to a couple of twisted horns where the sun will never shine. Perhaps one should avoid pushing a cart across the wasteland. Sadly, seems this lot does exactly that. Thankfully, I'm not with them. I'm instead chilling in my cool ass room. Fuck all of you. I don't have to do this shit. The wildspire awaits. Fuck this.
My favorite thing to do while walking around nature is kidnap animals from their natural habitats. You better believe I have a very, very comfortable tile floor you can be living on instead, little buddies. You know what my least favorite thing to do is? Here,
Stay close to us, part.
for 20 minutes while exploring the wastes. No, I'm not engaging in the necessary checkpoints, but come on. You guys will be fine pushing the cart. I'm just looking around for... Whoa, what are you doing here? Oh well, next up is a Rathian. I feel it was a little unfair to use the defender horn. Oh well, I'll get over it. Let's just get back to pushing this cart.
You know, sometimes I think I should be poetic and give these bits of sections the Attenborough special. Then I remember that I'm a fragmented piece of an omniscient deity and I don't care to do that. I also remember the cruel, cold nature of the Monster Hunter, Colin, world around us. It's not as cruel or cold as the Monster Hunter, Colin, Iceborne around us, but it is quite close. Within these John Wildspire wastes, you must be very tough or very agile in order to survive. What happens when you combine the power of a tank with the speed of a smaller but faster tank? Smaller tank, obviously. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you get...
Oh, so you're the guy making all that noise earlier. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of people with foreheads resembling plaqued up teeth. Regardless of real life fun facts, we find what we've been looking for all along. Zora Magdaros's flaming molten shit. We also find a four-fingered twink with hooves who claims to know everything about survival. He explains to me that when you miss something very much, you should probably just drink yourself to death. Even surviving alone in the wilderness doesn't help you forget. Wait, how'd you guys get that wagon up the vertical cliff? After crafting a new hunting horn and talking to a very muscular cat chef, I take on a quest to find a missing scholar. Before I even find the nerd, I make sure to find more potential campsites, steal endemic life from their homes, and collect everything in sight. But then... a fish monster appears!
yeah, this monster sucks. I don't even care to pronounce his name right. Gyrating tortoise, blah blah blah. Go kill him, Mr. Monster Hunter.
You know, I can't believe that monster got a montage, but another monster won't later. I can't believe his great-grandfather is getting one later either. Strangely, I had found some odd-looking thorns in the ground prior to fighting the fish paste extraordinaire. These thorns are a mystery to us now, but calling them cum is not far off from the truth. More Zora Magdaros talk. Talking about this thing is super boring. I guess I'll just Subway Surfers my way out of this. Once the boredom passes, I learn how to use the Clutch Claw in the arena. Clutch Claw Neophyte achievement obtained. Then, I go out to slay some Vespoids. They're like femoids, but insects, I think. I don't know, the Monster Hunter lore is confusing sometimes. On this little foray, I find the first of many rare endemic life that I shall be hunting. The Prism Hercudrome. Catching it gives me the Rainbow Bright achievement for being an awesome, cool conservationist of rare wildlife. You smell that? Something shocking this way comes.
You'd think when one assumes a natural predator in a forest, they'd blend in some way, somehow. Strangely, only one ancient forest beast does that. However, this one does it the least. A revolting experience that will cause the spark between you and this piece of shit to fizzle out. You may eventually come to love this guy, but it's still annoying.
Truly revolting.
I already made that joke, dumbass.
What was that? Keep in mind this whole time I'll be hunting monsters, I'm also leveling up my Tail Raider Unity. This is very important for later when I tear my hair out while gambling. And now, oh boy is it time. It's time, right? Time to face the wall. Some say no one on earth can make it fall. I'd love to test that theory and make the same joke 3 times in a row, and we're batting for 2, buddy.
Stomping around in both the dead of night and warmth of the afternoon. It takes a fool to seek out one of the least fluffy pink things ever created. You can try to best its might and fury, but its hunger shall prevail, until it finds itself in quite the pickle. Fucking pickle. It's time to see how a foolish adventurer fares against the Anyanat. Anyanef. Anya Messiahanth. Anjananth.
What was that again? Seems to me the wall fell just fine. Look at that. 3rd time's the charm, baby. What's also fine is the Defender of Astera achievement. In between main missions, I seek the pain and agony of a Kuluyaku to fuel my dopamine addiction. After sword and shielding it to near death, I capture it to get my first of a few capture achievements. Welcome to the club, Capture Novice. This Kulu is also my first Silver Crown monster, which means I also get the Giant Crown achievement. In the midst of using several quests and an expedition to level up my Bug Trapper Unity, I eventually reached level 7. With that, I can begin paw swapping. Oh man, paw swapping. I can trade a valuable item to the Bug Trappers in exchange for something else, including the chance to get a treasure tip. Following that first treasure tip to exactly where I must go nets me a golden egg and the first collector achievement, Fledgling Collector. This mechanic is so niche that even now, several years after Iceborne released, the achievement is only owned by 3.5% of players. Shortly thereafter, I also complete my first investigation by capturing a Pookie, netting me the An Inquisitive Mind achievement. Fortunately, we're rolling through these very fast. Unfortunately, that slows down a lot in a little while. Once I unlock 5 camps, I unlock the New World Settler achievement. Is there a slur for Anjanath yet? Because at the rate I'm hunting this dude over and over, I may as well be cancelled for my extreme racism against any and all Anjanaths. It's hard out here for the Anjanath armored crew. Thankfully though, I move on from mass extinction of all Anjanath in the ancient forest. Instead, my girlfriend and I started an expedition. Here I get the Help achievement and she gets to destroy the ecosystem of the Wildspire Waste at her insect glaive leisure. I think that's a fair trade. After this expedition, I remember one additional achievement I'll need. It involves guild cards. So from now on, every time I join a new lobby, I send my guild card to every single hunter possible in hopes that they have auto reply on. Back into another expedition, I had, in my previous time in the Waste, helped the Grimalkins so they would join my fun. So, upon jumping upon my Raider ride here, the Experienced Rider achievement pops up. I only did the Raider ride like 4 or 5 times for this to pop, so I don't know the criteria. I get the Miniature Crown achievement after completing the USJ Gold Star treatment quest. It is a bad day to be a great Jagras. In my assisting of a Giratotus hunt, I get the compliments of a Chad, W Hunting Horn player. You know what, Chad? If you're ever watching this, I hope you know you're a W. I hope to fight Fatalis with you one day by accident. As a Hunting Horn Chad, I suppose it's best to keep helping other people. So that's exactly what I do for a few quests before going back to my own business. When I say my own business, I mean the business of bullying big ass monsters.
It's always when the weird pink-skinned guys are most confident that things always go awry. Humans? They're called humans? Oh, I didn't pass 4th grade orthology. Alas, as the moon shines brilliantly, a true challenge marks its territory with piss and a lot of magmatic cum. Behold, Zora Magdaros!
Indignant, malignant, your lens of fear shall devour. Oh, behold! Wicked, discordant, a face with a darkened soul. The sight of them brings the slaughter.
It would be awesome to finish this montage, but something leaps from the top ropes to give me some true divine retribution. It's Nergigante! Unfortunately, Nergigante stopped us from catching Zora Magdaros. Not like we could really catch anything that big in the first place, our traps are too small. So he just casually walks away while we're left in the dust. Before I continue with the achievement getting, I do level up my Grimalkin tribe unity. Unfortunately, that's at the expense of several unassuming monsters, like this Giratotus and this Baroth. After my farming sessions, I am told that the 3rd Fleet still exists. They're just hidden away deep in the mind of solitude. Not Skyrim though, unluckily. Basically, I'll be going to a new place known as...
Beneath the sea lies a beautiful array of natural wonders. Things such as coral and even more coral after that. There's also rocks and seaweed, but I hate seaweed. It tickles my... What the fuck is this line, Jack? It tickles my feet while I swim and that's gross. However, the seaweed here won't be doing any tickling at all. Bro, what the fuck? That will be the job of the monsters. The tickle monsters found in the Tickle Highlands. Wait, no, the Coral Highlands.
I do believe that the Coral Highlands doesn't really become super interesting until much later in Master Rank. This is probably the place you see the least over the main story, but it's still probably one of my favorites. I love the deep sea aesthetic, even if I am extremely terrified of the deep sea itself. Anyway, I find a campsite and sight a Sitsi-Yaku. There's no special introduction for this guy because I will maintain the disrespect that Capcom seem to have had for the flash photography. You'll also know that Rathian didn't get a special introduction either because... Anyway, I guess Capcom hates paparazzi just as much as the next big name. Sitsi-Yaku down. While back in Astera, I speak to the Palico housekeeper in my room to do some moving on up in this world, which gives me the moving on up achievement. While in the Highlands, I meet the Coral Troopers. They will give me probably the most used Palico gadget after beating 2 Zitsuyakus for them, but unfortunately, that has to wait. I still love you, Coral Troopers.
You know, air pressure really sucks. One time I put one of those air pressure hoses in my pants to make them like balloons. All it did was blast my celestial dick with enough force to knock the wind out of me. I couldn't feel my left leg for several days. I'm going to keep blaming the air pressure on that one and not myself. The Coral Highlands are home to a variety of lifestyles, including those associated with air pressure. However, some of them have quite the ego about themselves. Some might even say their ego is inflated. Cue the Paulo move.
To find out more about Paolumu and his abilities, just look up Monster Hunter World Inflation Rule 34 Hardcore Picks. After all is said and done, I do have one more locale to discover in low rank before moving on. This locale is, you guessed it, the...
Ironically, the deepest parts of this new world are only accessible from above. What is she ringing that bell for? Whatever the reason, I'm sure it won't help her against the dangers of the Rotten Veil. The bottom of the totem pole within the veil is, indeed, a creature of annoyance, not aggression. No, seriously, you try being paralyzed by this a-hole 30 times in a row just trying to have fun. It's great gyros, everybody!
Alright, halfway through my low rank folder and we finally hit the incomprehensible horrors. But honestly, I can comprehend it all pretty well, so maybe that's just a bad design decision.
I didn't expect to be back so soon. I don't have anything on hand right now, so I just make it up on this fly. Call me an amateur if you want, but I'm a highly specialized video game monsterologist. That's what people say. Anyway, this guy kind of reminds me of a Beyblade and a fidget spinner combined, with the aggression of a My Hero Academia fan finding out Deku isn't gay. So, Rotoban Gaming?
After ingesting the state-enforced bone-hurting juice, I end up meeting an elderly woman. Any gilf lovers in the chat, avert your eyes. You're not here to be horny, just happy. Turns out she's the one that saved us from forever ago. Did I even include that part in the script? I'm not really focusing on the story, but thank you, old lady. Okay, turns out the last attempt we made to get into the Rotten Veil was technically a failure. Not really, but I'm going to show the Third Fleet as being incredibly incompetent because I'm jealous of their fame. So we try yet again to find any trace of Zora Magdaros. However, this is also a failure because of...
You fool! You thought you could escape the icy cold wind and its admittedly temporary master. Here in the Coral, I've heard there's a particular saying, where there's no water, there sure is ice. It means water freezes into ice. Now that I think about it, that doesn't make any sense. That's too bad. I've already depicted you as the Virgin Shaggy and myself as the Chat Ligiana.
Despite my lack of vertical capabilities with a giant musical hammer, I do love Legiana. All of its sounds are so beautiful, and I've hunted enough of them over the years of playing this game to know their moves inside and out. Now when they start shrieking, that's when they've lost me. After slaying Legiana, I gain access to 5-star assignments with the Into the Deep achievement. With a bit more freedom, I finally do that Coral Troopers quest and then spend the next hour leveling up their unity as much as I can. On top of that, after all that grinding, I successfully get one of Polly's Palico gadgets to level 10, obtaining the Bosom Buddies achievement. At this point, I also continue my paw swap adventure with the Bug Trappers. For those that don't know, I'll explain it to you now. Paw swapping is an RNG interaction through and through. You can trade with one of 3 members of the Grimalkeen tribe at a time, and typically you want to watch for this animation when offering a high value item. Every time you give them an item, you gain an item in return, as well as roll for a chance to get a treasure tip. Sometimes you'll get one treasure tip after another, other times you'll spend 30 minutes straight doing nothing but trading, getting nothing tip-like in return. Sorry, furries. Oh, and you can only get one one treasure tip per locale at a time, then you have to complete it, leave the expedition, and come back, slowing it down even more. I love paw swapping so much, it's so unreal. Descending deep into the Rotten Vale's raw tussie leads to a just truly vile sensory overload. Not only am I breathing in acid water air, but let's just add the stench of Elon Musk's green aura with flies and the overwhelming heat of magma shit. Man, it really smells like Updog in here.
What's up, dog? To the window, to the wall, till the rot consumes us all. Well, everyone except one very good boy. Just please make sure to hide the screen from any redditors. Who would have thought a place like the Vale de la Rot has an alpha predator in the form of a stinky, steamy dog? Heckin' Udogaron holds up Jungis, Keanu Reeves, 100, r/atheism, r/huge chunkas, whatever the fuck the kids say nowadays.
Chill, bro, chill. After capturing Mr. Odo, that old lady is actually alive. I didn't mention it before, but she basically tried to chase this thing away. The stupid people in the room thought she died, but she survived because of woke. Oh, also, the Coral Highlands is fueled by the Rotten Vale. It's like a cycling ecosystem, perfect as could be. It's much like me and Paulie. He saves my life when I get fucked up, then I save his when he gets fucked up thanks to him saving me, which enables him to keep saving me so I can keep saving him. After approximately 4 separate hunting sessions, filled with jolly cooperation and Grimalkeen unifying, I get the monster slaying achievement after slaying a Zitsuyaku. Thank you, Flash Photography. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Or now. My story-related goal is to find a first Wyverian in the ancient forest. With some editing magic, that can be achieved. Wait. No. Hold on.
Well, that's quite the wild goose chase, am I right? Led all the way to the peak of the ancient forest with nothing to show for it, but... Wait, look up in the sky! It's close! It's getting close! That's right, it's a Rathalos.
Oh shit, look! There's the first Wyverian. To prove myself to him, I have to slay a Rathalos and a Diablos. Awkward timing, honestly, given my current attire and weapon, but if he wants to watch me do it, then so be it. It's Rathalos hunting time! After picking out that authentic Dolce and Banana, I elect not to meander into the Wildspire Waste searching for a demon in the sand. Can't get this fresh fit complex and dirty. Instead, I just do more part grinding and expeditions. Whether it be the Coral Highlands or the Rotten Vale, who knows where my journey shall take me. I will put this here, where it's technically the second most relevant given the background footage. Every time I explore the Rotten Vale, there are 2 different pieces of endemic life that I'm looking for. They're both found in this silly little back cavern. One is a bristly crake, and the other, well, is that thing. It's the Petracanth, and there's an achievement tied to it, so it'll be my next inquiry. And, well, with an embarrassing failure of fishing like that, I think it's time for a nice victory. So, why not go demon hunting?
To the highest dunes and the deepest caverns, one sound is assuredly ringing through the very earth. From the time of Insta charges to the days of, you guessed it, future Insta charges and Master Rank. That sound is a furious gambit to a monstrous fight. Beware the howling winds atop the quicksand below. You may find yourself sinking into the lair of a beast most foul, a creature most deadly. You may find yourself staring to the eyes of Diablos.
Seems like it's Diablos 0 and Jack Diabdos. I hunted one other Diablos prior to this. You only saw the armor and the hammer? Yeah? Okay. Upon joining an SOS hunt against a Paolumu, it turns out to be my 10th time joining SOS requests. You know what that means? That means I am the reinforcements, Skylar. That just leaves one more achievement for this part of the video. All I have to do is hunt
Zora Bagdaros. Perhaps this little quest is just another foolish attempt at an impossible task. But what better way to prove something impossible than to do it anyway? It seems the 5th Fleet tends to only manage success in the most impossible of scenarios. However, lurking just beyond the edges, once again another beast of rune. While not the runer quite yet, play the video game, we do manage to lay eyes upon the devastation known only as the Dragon Eater.
There's nothing more for you to take away. Oh,
suppose it's true. One day we shall learn that truly, death begets life. With the finality of Magdaros becoming a Magda won't, we can now begin the process of accessing high rank. We have one more quest to do technically, but I'm using the previous quest as the benchmark. So here are those achievements, by the way. All of the achievements I'll be obtaining in high rank are as follows: Capture Pro, Monster PhD, Step into the Arena, Impregnable Defense, Spreading the Word, Elder Slayer, Hunters United Forever, Commissioned Work, Giant Crown Collector, Mini Crown Collector, Power is Everything, The Franchise Hunter, Empress of the Highlands, One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall, Temper, Snuggles for All, A Living Fossil, Bristles for All, The Hunter's Life for Me, and the Sapphire Star. Several of these achievements are simply stepping stones for worse, even more grindy achievements later on. So let's dust off our hands and get back to work. The celebration of finishing low rank was over before it even started. Are you ready? You better be, because I think it's time we enjoy high rank with an expedition into the wastes. Here we find a Pookie, a stranger in these lands, but I welcome our new multicolored poisonous overlords. I would give Monster Hunter's LGBT representation another montage, but it really just is Pookie with a couple of changed moves. Easy is as easy does. But there appears to be something new lurking just beyond our vision in the wastes. Strange pink scales shed from some super powerful gaming beast evil monster thing. Whatever, time to upgrade my room yet again. Now you can find me in the Deluxe Ultra President room, sipping on that Dr. Perky. Back on the concept of strangers in a new land, we run into yet another stranger in a admittedly familiar land. In Anjanath, it seems the ancient forest is gerrymandering the desert because it's no coincidence that these two are here. Actually, yes it is. After a very long expedition, post Anjanath slang of course, I get our first high rank achievement, Capture Pro, for capturing 50 monsters. I love when I get rewarded for being a pacifist. It makes the uncatchable fights all the more frustrating to grind when I hate them. Looking at you, Wind Lizard.
Can you believe it? He let me keep my unpaid job for the second chapter. He is hoping I can keep it for part 2 too. Anyway, where was I? Ah, right, something pinkish this way comes. In the Coral Highlands, it is said the mightiest hunter is not red, but pink. A foul-mouthed beast hungry to be the apex predator. And it is you. Yes, him. That is the primo menu item. I'm tickled pink with excitement for the pink Raphael fight.
It? Easiest Empress of the Highlands achievement of my life. But would you look at that? That pink Rathian doesn't look so tough. However, that guy, he seems kinda tough. But when he brings out the liberal crystals, that's when I knew who he really was. Oh dear God. Let's just ignore that for now.
Can you feel that? I can't because I'm not real. But if you can, I'd suggest going to a doctor. It could be gas, or it could be the air pressure. What you are supposed to feel is the energy of life overwhelming you. Well, welcome to the Everstream, and even more importantly, welcome to the Elders' Recess. Recess? It's where senior citizens go to play when nobody's around. This place is home to such beauties as extremely fucking hot Magma and a cute little guy known as Dodo. What the fuck? Is he killing Dodogama?
I don't know what came over me. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, my dear friend. I guess I will be doing it again later on. Anyway, my real purpose is to find Nergigante evidence. And I do, so back to Astera I go. Turns out though, that wasn't enough. So back I go again.
Jack wanted to hear himself talk more between monster introductions, so that's why this is out of place and not immediately following Dodogama. But the introduction for these next two monsters are quite short. So short in fact that Jack couldn't find much footage of him fighting the first one here because he only hunted it when he was much stronger. So meet Lavasiev. The second one, however, is a true master of the Beyblade arts. I don't know if it is or not, but all I really know is it reminds me of Jay Leno, pre-Mafia beat-on. It's time for the state-enforced Uragan interaction.
I think it's time to dress myself up in some nice defenses. However, that requires getting parts, and getting parts requires monster hunting. Oh boy, I'm glad I can read the game's title. And why not help some hunters out at the same time? After all, Monster Hunter does stand for friends forever. I swear, officer, this one attacked me first. After my farming session, I think we should kill the horse.
Alright, remember when I said in that last bit of chapter 1 that we hadn't met the ruiner just yet? Played the game? Well, let me pitch this idea to you. We still haven't. We're gonna meet his younger brother. To those who don't know, you'll find out in about... what? To those who don't know, you'll find out in about 150 hours of Jack's time, or one click away after this video is over. It's the mean, lean, elder-eating machine. It's... I can't say that word, dude.
I fucking love Nergigante! This fight is my all-time favorite. That's a lie, but if I said my actual all-time favorite, it'd be spoilers. It is pretty fatal, though. Okay, I'll spill the beans. It's Nergigante. From what I'm being told by Super Saiyan Goku Sr., this place is an existential crisis in a crystallized can. Infinite, vast, untold amounts of billowing life energy. Nergigante wants to eat what wants to eat it. But there's something more. It seems there may be something in that Final Fantasy 15-esque crystal fuckery over there. And, oh great, it's the old woman. I'm not here for her or her munting fetish. I am here for my one shall stand, one shall fall achievement though. For the first time, I take a peek at my research levels. Oh boy. There are 2 achievements tied to this, one for World, one for Iceborne. Unfortunately, it's going to be even more grindier than before. I shed a tear realizing what I must do soon. I have a secret to tell you. That secret isn't so much a secret if you played the game, but it's weighing heavily on my heart. About as heavily as a giant steel-skinned wind dragon god. I've been looking for... wait, whoa. I've been looking for footprints. Footprints of 3 very special, very interesting elder dragons. But we'll save those reveals for when they get there. Unfortunately for me, the time has come to face my greatest hater. Can't be too sure that it hates me, but it's very likely.
Honestly, there's nothing that scares me more than a real, mean, powerful tornado. Especially if it's at night. I'm serious, go to Google and look at my tornado. Now, if small shards of steel-like scales were included in this tornado, I very well believe I'd have myself a very awful Daoru. A very awful... what? A very awful Kushala Daoru. What the fuck? And it will fall, like the rain, for now and it will not let up until the end is here. And it will come through the darkest day, in the final hour, and it will never rest until the clouds are clear, until it finds my dreams and disappear.
I'm the Mr. Fuck Yous guy finally. It only took 1 try, so honestly not that bad, but I still very distinctly remember my first fight against Kushala Daora. But wait, there's more!
The fires of pride rise within Jack. I don't actually know that, but I'm assuming based on how he felt after slaying Kushala. Speaking of fire, it does seem pretty important to let you know something. I can't remember what it was though. Something about Superman dives in blue fire?
Perfect fire. There is no blue fire here.
Oh, okay, I'm now being informed that we're dealing with red fire, so that was entirely irrelevant. Now that I'm back on track, I remember exactly who's being introduced. The all-blazing Teostra in his mighty glory.
Talking about feeling the burn. However, that wasn't the last Elder Dragon. You see, we've got one final Elder Dragon to hunt and slay, so I won't yap your ear off too much. It might just rot away with how fucking vile this next guy is.
Death smells like two things: a wonderful valley of flowers, and a wonderful valley of flowers if the flowers were replaced by rotten corpses and stuck in an airtight container for 30 years. Perhaps we could call it aging like fine wine? Well, let me tell you, this next monster is anything but a fine wine. It's more like a pour amore. No, I don't speak French, but Jack just might when Valhazak is done with him.
Ignited by a burning desire. Keep on mounting ocean through the ice and night. To celebrate this frozen walls that climb so high. There's no keeping me down. I am the one. I'll be bested by night now. When all is said and done.
Yeah, they decided to make a fart cloud dragon. And just like that, the trio of Elder Dragons are down for the count. 3-0, Jack versus annoying quests. Not really, they weren't really annoying. I really enjoyed them. Valhazak is probably one of my favorite Elder Dragons, just because he looks so fucking weird. He's a goofy guy. And what better way to celebrate bullying a goofy guy than to bully a devil Joe with friends? Oh, well, that didn't work too well. Let's just forget about that. And what better way to memory hole something than getting the show over with? We're doing the final base game story quest here and now. I wonder what awaits me at the end of this road.
It's all crystal up here, buddy. Meth, crack, even heroin crystals. Deep inside the recess, where ancient bioenergy builds to unmatched potential. There's something dangerous lurking just around the corner. A living energy source pulsing with curiosity, pinging off of each crystal until every being in the world can feel its presence. Then, Jack finds it. And what else is there for the source to do but hatch? That's right, it's hatching. Is that thing even a dragon? Can it even die? It's time to face Xenojiva.
Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You want to know where this recording is in the high rank folder? There it is, not even halfway through. But we've secured the Sapphire Star achievement, so I don't even care. I suppose all that's left to do is celebrate. Celebrate that the Hunter rank cap was finally removed. Now I can make my way to the highest ranks feasible just to satiate my achievement addiction. But like I've already said, we've got a long way to go before high rank is fully over. Iceborne can wait, because I get the Hunter's Life for Me achievement when completing my 50th optional quest. Man, 50 quests goes by really slow in this game. Ultimately, the bulk of my recordings here are long grinding sessions in order to get Gold Crown monsters, as well as max out the research of a monster. Gold Crown monsters are mostly RNG outside of a few quests that guarantee at least one. I can add another achievement to the list after I complete a quest to hunt a Tempered Paolumu, my first tempered monster. The achievement is, as you could have guessed, Temper. In just about every damn hunt, there always seems to be some weird guy joshing my style. He just flies right in and kamikazes us. I'm sure I could easily make a 9/11 joke, but I won't because I'm above that. The planes, however, were not. On one of my farming trips to Le Vale, I managed to do something spectacular. In my desperate attempt to satiate my addiction to fishing minigames, I catch the Petracanth rare endemic life, giving me the A Living Fossil achievement. Then nothing really happens for a very long time. 4 days of playing to be exact. That's not really that long, but it felt like it was while watching back through my recordings. A Bareth here, a Rathian there, and a little more Radoban in the other direction goes a long way. Back to the grindstone, I guess, is what I would say if I wasn't such an awesome core epic cell. After a lot of farming and one more Ortagaran hunt, I obtain a grand total of over 100k research points. This gives me the Commissioned Work achievement. Jarvis, put a happy dancing cat on screen. I will note here, if they don't show up later, that I've also hunted Azorathalos, Bazogis, Black Diablos, and Kirin as well. They haven't gotten proper intro cutscenes, so no jacks, no dice. Man, there's just a lot of fighting. So much, in fact, that I don't even know what to do with it all.
Yeah, I'm just showing up to tell you he rambled for a long time here. Like, this video would be double the length if I didn't stop it. I don't really have anything else to announce. Wait. After completing 50 investigations, ending on a beautifully done Nergigante hunt, Jack obtains the Franchise Hunter achievement. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Okay, should be done rambling now. Go back to Jack.
What do Akira and Two Devils Joe and Anjanath and Lunastra have in common? Nothing, but I get the Hunters United Forever achievement after hunting them all in a row. Now is the time to begin my official crown hunt for non-Iceborne content. Oh man, this is going to take forever. Prior to my farming, I had naturally accumulated crowns for these monsters. There are 28 total crowns you need for the large and mini crown achievements. 14 large, 14 mini, and I've only gotten 6 mini crowns and 5 large crowns, so I do a little farming. However, even after several hours of being very unlucky, I've only walked away with a large crown for Puki Puki, Great Gyros, Zitsuyaku, and Lavasioth, and a mini crown for Lavasioth and Legiana. So to celebrate this failure, why not go into the arena and enjoy a painstakingly long fight? A place tailored for 2 people, done with only 1 person. Whatever, man, at least I get the step into the arena achievement for this. Surely it won't be this bad in the future, right? Alright, now for some actual feel-good achievements. Before I got off for the night, I did end up crafting 5 pieces of highly rare armor and 5 pieces of highly rare weaponry. Not all at once, mind you, but the final purchases were made here. This gives me 2 achievements, Impregnable Defense and Power is Everything. Then I go back and do some paw swapping business to find more treasure, before moving on from gambling my high potions away to fighting the final Elder Dragon I need. That Elder Dragon just so happens to be a Lunastra, and once Lunastra here is slain, I get the Elder Slayer achievement for my hard work. And now I know what my next goal is, maxing out research levels. I've got a lot of them to go through, since every single monster has at least 4 research levels to reach each. So I'll tell you my strategy here. This one doesn't involve ghillie mantling around behind a monster either. First, I start a hunt and collect as many tracks as I possibly can. This does help a lot with lower end monsters that don't need as many research points, but Elder Dragons will be tricky because not all of them move around a whole lot. I'm looking at you, Kushala. Once I initiate combat, I aim to break as many parts as possible. As a musical steel chair user, I break things like the horns of a Diablos or Nergigante the quickest, and other head/defensive parts as well. Then if a monster can have its tail cut off, I bring out a greatsword to do the necessary deed. If they can't, then I beat them to near death. Either way, I capture them whenever I don't accidentally wallbang one to death. Rinse and repeat for every monster, all hours of the day. I also rinsed and repeated my guild card distribution system with every lobby I hopped into, eventually netting me the Spreading the Word achievement for collecting 50 guild cards. Bless the Monster Hunter community for putting auto reply on. Anyway, this whole explain process took me 4 days of 4 to 5 hour play sessions each before I finally achieved the Monster PhD achievement for maxing out the research levels on the majority of monsters up to high rank. What's next? Well, I've got 4 more achievements I'll be getting this video. I'm sorry that it's coming so close to the end so soon, but at least you can look forward to me tearing my fucking hair out for Iceborne. I'm going bald as it is, I may as well just take it all out. The first achievement I hunt for is catching a bristly crake in the Rotten Vale. Now, the funny part is that I eventually do get it, even after missing it the first time I ever done seen it. That gives me the Bristles for All achievement. Okay, the actual funny part though is right after getting one to spawn, the Grimalkeen there gave me another one as a trade reward. The best part is, 12 minutes later, I get the Snuggles for All achievement for catching the Downy Crakes in the Wildspire Waste. Too bad I didn't use that luck on the lottery. The final 2 achievements come from crown hunting. Truth is, I only need 10 of each crown to get the achievements, so while I don't fully crown hunt for right now, that may come back to bite me in the ass at a later date. Regardless, I need 1 giant crown and 2 mini crowns. After a long day of farming, I do manage to get a giant crown for Basilgeese, which gives me the Giant Crown Collector achievement. I also get the Mini Crown Collector achievement after getting the Giratotus and Kuluyaku mini crowns in the same hunt. Bless. However, I'm not happy to leave this video off on stupid fucking crown hunting. No. I think we should say fuck it and fight the proper precursor to what may be the final fight of the next part too. Arch Tempered Nergigante.